Alright, today we'll be talking about systems of second degree equations / inequalities. Alright, the number of solutions is equal to the number of times the graphs intersect each other. We already know that. So if the system is a line and a conic, there could be 0, 1, or 2 solutions. Remember that the line is a degenerate conic. If there are 2 conics in a system, there could be 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 solutions due to the amount of intersections. So first off, let's go ahead and solve this bad boy by graphing it and seeing what its actual solutions are going to be approximately according to the graph. Alright, so I've already included the graph in here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to graph the first one, which is an ellipse. Okay, it makes total sense. Let's make that a little bit darker. Let's make it a red. There we go. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to graph the second one. Now the second one is a circle, a little bit off center. Okay, but as you can see, alright, it intersects at once, twice, 3 times. Okay. Alright, so one of these answers is pretty nice and neat. So we actually get 5. So what we can do is we can actually use this information to help us out. But this is not as nice and neat. If I zoom in, here's how you can tell your answer is not going to be as nice and neat, especially during Desmos, is that the numbers start to change. Okay? So that one's a huge issue right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to focus on doing this algebraically then. Okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply, I believe I've written down in my work, we're going to multiply the bottom one by negative 25. Okay, and plus that makes sense because it's just making it a lot easier. So negative 25. So I'm going to take 9x squared plus 25y squared equals 225. Okay, and I'm going to minus minus 25x squared minus 25y squared, and as there you can see what what we're going to be going up against. 50x equals negative 375. Okay. Alright, and then I'm going to combine everything, so I should get negative 16x squared plus 50x equals negative 150. Yep. Okay. Now, when I do quadratic formula, and we all know how to do that, I'm going to get x equals 5 or 15/8. And if you notice, the 15/8 is going to be our 1.875. So that's kind of nice to know that we're on the right track. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is plug in 5 into the original equation, or one of the original equations, and actually solve for it. So x equals 5. So this will be, let's go with the top one, 9 times 25 plus 25y squared equals 225. Okay, and 9 times 25. Ooh. 9 times 25, not 225. If you notice, that's going to turn into 225 plus 25y squared equals 225. And we all know that that's the death knell for y being equal to 0. So, one of our solutions. Okay, so now that y equals 0, my actual answer is for when x is 5, y will be 0. So voila, I have my answer. Now I did notice that I did make a mistake. This should be negative 15/8. I just realized that because I was thinking about the graph. I was thinking we're on the left, the intersections on the left, those should be negative. Okay, so when I plug those back in, and I'm probably going to plug them into the top one just to make a safe bet. Okay, so, or you can plug it into the bottom one. It's up to you. I'm going to plug it into, yeah, let's go to the bottom one since I have the fraction. So this is going to turn into 225 over 64 Okay, that's x plus y squared plus 15/4 equals 15. Okay, and as I begin to solve this, I should get, once I move everything over, I should get y squared equals 495 divided by 64. And if you notice, if I square root that, I'm going to get y equals plus or minus, plus or minus 3 root 55 all divided by 8. Okay, and as you noticed, the really cool thing is that now I actually have the exact value. Okay, so when I plug in negative 15/8, I should get a plus or minus version, which represents two answers. We all know this. 3 root 55. And we'll put the parentheses on the end there. And then we'll have over 8. Okay? And that's the really cool thing about working with this stuff, is that you can actually do it, and they're actually designed to come out with some not so nice and neat answers, but answers that you can actually work around too. Okay? Alright, but that's it for solving systems of equation of second degree equations and inequalities. Just remember, with inequalities, just look for where they cross, and that's going to be your answer. I'll talk to you later. Bye.